What we got for you today is Hebinx versus farfelu. In the third game of this particular part of the tournament, this is a Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament. We've got... I don't remember exactly how far into the entire tournament this is. I just know that this will be the last game between these two. Whoever wins here moves on. Go mode right now, go mode for the entire tournament, I should say, is Save the Crystal. This means that our runners will need to defeat all 4 fiends before they get the Sky Coin. That's the Flamer's Rex in Bone Dungeon, the Ice Golem in Ice Pyramid, the Dual Head Hydra in the Lava Dome, and Pazuzu in Pazuzu's Tower. In order to access these, our other Go Mode items are the Mega Grenade, the Dragon Claw, any axe, any sword, each of the coins, that is the Sand Coin, the River Coin, the Sun Coin, the crest, not every crest, just the Mobius crest actually, the Captain's Cap, the Thunder Rock, and I believe that's it. NPCs will have prioritized items, or NPCs will be prioritized for item locations, as will battlefields. Standard enemies will be probably weaker. They have a minimum of 50% stats and a maximum of 125%. Bosses will have a minimum of 100% of their vanilla stats and a maximum of 150%. Not just health, it's all of their stats. We also have Simple Shuffle turned on for attack shuffles, which means, I believe, it's every attack in the game is put in a list and randomized between each enemy, but I haven't been paying enough attention to tell one way or the other. It could be that each script is randomized and given to each enemy individually, which is probably more likely than the list bit. Enemy positions will be shuffled, so they won't be where you expect them to be in vanilla. For the Doom Castle, we will only be seeing the Dark King. We will not have the 4 boss refights, with air quotes, before the Dark King: Skullrus, Stone Golem, Twin Head, and Za. And our racers are up. The level forest is typically where people go first. We've got a steel sword on each of them. Farfelu finding the steel helm, not that useful. It doesn't provide any resistances. I believe it's just 4-ish defense. I can confirm that. We've also found a Libra crest in the doctor's office. Now, I didn't really explain what crests do earlier. Crests let you teleport between 2 specific locations on the map. If you see a glowing tile that has the same design on it as your crest, you can teleport. And here we're seeing attack randomizer in full effect. Farfelu is going to need to run from here. Hebinx is in a battlefield. Battlefields have their rewards randomized, and for the moment, you can tell what reward is in what battlefield by its color. Blue battlefields will have items, green battlefields will have money, and gray battlefields will have experience. I say for now because in the beta channel on our Discord, we're in the process of replacing the color changing with different graphics for each battlefield. farfelu finding the Cupid locket, that's going to be protecting him from a few things, confusion being one of them, and the Aegis shield. They're in fairly easy-to-check locations, however, so we know that Hebinx is going to find them relatively soon. Aegis shield protects us from petrification, that's the most important thing it does. Also finding the multi-key at Tristram's location. How partners work, Tristram is a little bit unique. Oh, the River Coin. River Coin grants access to Fireburg and the Fire Continent. We do have the magic ring, which is irrelevant now that we have the Cupid locket. If you find an armor piece, each armor piece or armor slot in the game and weapon slot has 3 tiers of equipment that can go into it. If you find a tier below the one that you already have, it just gets deleted. It doesn't replace what you already have, it's just gone. Anyways, back to what was I talking about? Fireburg, I've lost my train of thought. We've already found the Mobius crest on Hebinx's side. It must have been from a battlefield, I assume. The Mobius crest is the important crest because it's how we get to the ship. After we blow the ocean out of Spencer's place with the mega grenades. Seriously, what was I talking about? Oh, good point in chat. Psych Shield is part of Pazuzu's script. It is not an actual attack. Well, there are attacks named Psych Shield, but they don't function like the Psych Shield scripted bits in Pazuzu's fight. Mobius with Rivercoin does also give Windia access. Thank you, chat. That's Mobius, Rivercoin, and Multikey. I believe the Mobius crest was in this very battlefield that farfelu is in at the moment. So when he completes it, he will... oh, right, I was talking about partners. He will get the Mobius crest. How partners work is they each have an item to give you. Kaylee's is in her normal location. She works exactly as she does in vanilla. You need the Tree Wither to get her into your party. You fight the Minotaur, she gets poisoned, you have to give her the elixir before you get Kaylee 2. Well, not exactly like in vanilla. You get Kaylee 2 immediately after you give her the elixir. Noble Armor gives you protection against, I believe, wind and water. And thunder by proxy. Thunder is now a real level. It's just the combination of wind and water. So, after you get your item from your partner, you can visit them in their second location. The items are also Phoebe's in the Wintry Cave, where you normally fall off. Ruben's at the end of the mine, where you save Ruben's dad. And Tristram's in the Bone Dungeon, although you don't actually need Tristram's item to get Tristram 2. He's just always in the Fireburg Inn. Hotel, sorry. After you get those items, excluding Tristram, of course, you can go to where their second location is. Kaylee, if Kaylee 2 ever leaves your party, she and Phoebe will show up in the Windia Inn. Ruben will always stay at home. He's kind of a neat. And Tristan will show up in the Fireburg Hotel. Hebinx currently in the Alive Forest. He doesn't have the Dragon Claw, so there is a lot of checks here without bothering with the entire giant tree. So it's quite dense. Farfelu's still checking out the rest of Windia, however. Going back to Fireberg. Farfelu probably thinks it's a better idea to defeat the monsters he can. The easier battlefields go up in difficulty, whereas Hebinx is probably thinking, I'm going to get the things that I can get without fighting anything, and then I'll go fight the easy battlefields, or fight everything else in order of difficulty. He might not even fight things in order of difficulty. He might fight things in order of what's closest. But he will definitely need a tier 2 partner before he does much of anything in Windia. That is simply how the stats roll. Oh, nothing in Focus Tower Basement. That's unfortunate. That's going to be a waste of probably 45-ish seconds for Hebinx. Farfelu, meanwhile, getting the Magic Mirror. The Magic Mirror and the Gas Mask are similar in functionality. They only differ in which maps they affect. What they do is they turn invisible enemies visible. The Magic Mirror affects the entirety of the Ice Pyramid, excluding only the Ice Golem. And the Gas Mask affects floors 2 and 3 of the volcano. Hebinx now deciding, okay, let's try out this battlefield. The same one Farfelu's in. We haven't seen the item this battlefield gives, and apparently sting rats can multiply. That is the attack randomizer coming into effect. There are, I believe, 4 scripts that include multiplication in the game. It looks like this battlefield has the exit spell, which is going to be extremely useful for both of our runners. Exit can be cast in any map to get yourself back to the overworld, and it can be cast on the overworld to get yourself back to the level forest, without even spending a white magic point. Hebinx now has exit as well. He's coming down here. He's going to find the Magic Mirror and probably be disappointed. It's always the worst when your partner's confused, you're dead, and you're not in control of the situation in the slightest. Farfelu finds the tree wither, so he will be able to get Kaylee 1 at his leisure, and Kaylee 2. It won't even be that far out of the way because he has exit. And like I said just a few moments ago, if you use exit on the world map, you go back to the level forest. This is a randomizer-only feature. Which Farfelu is taking advantage of right now. Kaylee 2 is stronger than Ruben 1. What else is in the level forest? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Our Minotaur here, having up to 360 health, gets punked. Farfelu obtaining white for his efforts. The white spell is the only non-elemental damaging spell in the game, and it's the third strongest, behind Meteor and Flare. Exit on the world map is not considered in the logic. Yeah, you would think it would be Holy Element, wouldn't you? But Holy Element isn't something that exists in this game. Oh, Sand Coin. That grants access to the Water Continent. I imagine if Holy Element did exist in this game, it would only affect the Dark King. And maybe the Undead. No. Life is considered the Fatal Element, and Cure is considered Zombie Element. If you cast Cure on a zombie, you will see that it's weak to the zombie element. And if you cast Life on something that you can't kill with it, you will see that it's immune to the, or resists, or something, the Fatal Element. That's just what the game calls it. I don't have any control over it. It doesn't need to make sense. I just work here. Haley casting Arrow on these ghosts. I believe in the Wind Continent, the Tier 2 ghosts are weak to wind. These ones are not. In the Wind Continent, nearly everything is weak to wind. Looks like zombies here are weak to wind, though. Ah, the Charm Claw. It is a significant upgrade in damage and status effects over the Cat Claw. The Cat Claw inflicts poison and paralysis. The Charm Claw, I believe, inflicts sleep, confusion. I don't know off the top of my head. Charm Claw, Armors, Charm Claw. Hello? Ah, we found the Captain's Cap. I said earlier that that was a Go Mode item. The only reason it's a Go Mode item is that it's necessary to give Captain Mac before you can pilot his ship. Charm Claw. The Charm Claw inflicts sleep, blind, and confusion, as well as the poison and paralysis that the Cat Claw inflicts, because weapons are upgrades. In every sense of the word. Or higher tier weapons of the same slot are upgrades. I should probably talk about how weapons affect your stats. Swords give Ben +5 speed while they're equipped. Claws give Ben +5 magic while they're equipped. And bombs and axes don't do anything. You may hear people tell you that axes give you +5 defense. This is false. I believe Hebinx will be the first one to get any of the crystals lit. He's found the Wake Water. The only use that has is unlocking Spencer's Place, they call it, from the Aquaria side, where you don't have any chance to open the bombable wall. Farfelu could. Farfelu doesn't have a claw, apparently, so he actually could not go and beat the Ice Golem in the Ice Pyramid, because it will not allow you to softlock yourself by falling down the pit on the 5th floor. That is also a randomizer feature. If you were playing vanilla, you would guarantee you'd have a claw. I'm sorry, what else opens? Oh, it does open the Wake Water does open the north entrance to the Focus Tower by melting the ice, blocking it. It's not really a north entrance, it's a 3rd floor entrance on the east. Hebinx headed back to Firebird. What's he going to Firebird for? He might be going to Windia. He probably got Phoebe's item from the Wintry Cave, and now he's going to get Phoebe 2, widely considered to be the best party member in the game. Because her magic stat is the highest, and she has the white spell as well. And would you look at that, I was right. Farfelu taking out the Flamerous Rex, lighting his first crystal, and I believe our runners are tied. Time spent outside of dungeons notwithstanding. Hebinx having a claw is also important in this mine, because you cannot use the elevators here for the same reason as why the randomizer doesn't allow you to fall down that pit in the 5th floor of the Ice Pyramid. You would get soft locked. He will be able to get he will be able to free Ruben's dad if he chooses to, which he is choosing to. He probably will skip them at this point. To anyone who's just listening and not watching chat, Lowland has stated that Hebinx will probably skip the Kaylee checks due to not having found the Tree Wither yet, which I agree is very likely. Farfelu still doesn't have a... Oh, he does have a claw. It's not showing up on the tracker yet. We'll, oh, he has Charm Claw. Hebinx taking out the Jin, freeing Aryan, Ruben's dad, and finding Quake, the worst spell in the game. Thunder being the second worst spell in the game. Quake has the weakest damage output, and the only time you'd ever use it is if you're playing vanilla and fighting the Flamer's Rex. Hebinx finds Gaia's armor, which I believe protects you from, I can find out real quick, poison and sleep. If my my RPG Maker project isn't lying to me. Or rather, inaccurately made. Hebinx has found the Tree Wither, so he might do Kaylee. Kaylee checks, rather. He might not. Up to him. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he faded Kaylee. And farfelu in a difficult situation at the moment. Ruben gets Ben back up and isn't able to heal himself. Is this the final hit? It is! The Jin is down. Ah, Hebinx. You know better than to do that. Let's see what Ruben's item was. The Jumbo Bombs. Jumbo Bombs, not useful. We already have Mega Grenades. We can use them until we switch off of them in the weapon wheel. At which point, if we go back to the bomb slot, we will be on Mega Grenades again. farfelu getting his version of Gaia's armor, and Hebinx finding the Flare spell, the absolute strongest wizard spell in the game, and strongest spell by definition. It does 1,800 damage by default, I believe. And your magic stat is added onto that. Multiplied by 4, I think? And then subtract the enemy's magic stat, multiplied by 3? I think that's about right. Hebinx finding the Moon Helm. That'll give him fire resistance. The Apollo Helm also just gives fire resistance. Fire resistance is pretty important in the Fire Continent. But you kind of wish you'd seen it earlier, before the Jin fight. It is a good time to get fire resistance, I agree. No better time, in fact. You saw that switch open a door on Hebinx's side earlier. That's this dungeon's gimmick. There's a door at the end of one of the two paths, and if you don't know where you're going, you'll run face first into it. It has to be opened by that switch, cannot be opened any other way, and that's it. It stays open forever once you hit the switch. There must have been a red chest up here. There is. And it's the Life Spell. Life Spell is intensely important. Not only does the Life Spell revive the dead, it revives them back to full health, removes any and all status effects on them, and it works even if they're still alive. Its only downside is it's single target only. If you want to restore the health of 2 people at the same time, you need to use Cure, which Phoebe has access to. Period. Every party member, other than Ben, always has access to the life spell. Only Phoebe and Kaylee have access to Cure. And Heal, I believe. I shouldn't have included Ben in that. Ben can get every spell. I don't think either of our runners have used it yet, but I want to talk about the dupe glitch in this game. There is a glitch you can use to duplicate consumable items. Like the cure potions, the heal potions, the seeds, and the refreshers. Refreshers, by the way, are useless. All they do is remove your debuffs, in case you didn't know. To duplicate a consumable item, you must fail to use it on your turn in battle. You can do this by selecting the item with Ben and running away with your partner on manual before the turn starts. You can do it by selecting the item with someone and then having them die before they're able to use the item. Or be otherwise incapacitated, for example, confused, paralyzed, or put to sleep. That is correct, Matthew. They do still need the Dragon Claw. But other than Dragon Claw and Thunder Rock, and defeating the rest of the Fiends, that is Go mode. Our runners will probably want to be somewhere around level 18 to 20. I've been seeing 20s in a lot of matches in this tournament. Because the Dark King's attacks are not randomized. And they're not based on his stats either. They always do a set amount of damage. Well, every attack in this game always does a set amount of damage. There's no randomization in the damage formulas in this game. But the Dark King's attacks are not based on his stats, not even his HP stat. Most monster attacks do factor in the monster HP divided by 8 or 80 if it's a boss, like the dual head Hydra here. The Dark King's attacks just do flat damage, minus your defense. And that is correct, Lawiru. We are playing a Save the Crystals seed, wherein, in order to get the Sky Coin, you have to defeat all 4 Fiends. I'll say again, they are Flameless Rex, Dual Head Hydra, Ice Golem, and Pazuzu. Hebinx now going to the Ice Golem. Entering the Ice Pyramid for the first time. Finding the Venus Key, which will get him 2 checks. There's 1 check in Spencer's place, and there's 1 check in the spot where you normally get the Venus Shield in vanilla. Let's just hope that our Jerkbird doesn't turn into a boy band. It's very unlikely that he will do so, but not a 0% chance, I don't think. The final dungeon has one boss, the Dark King. F. Coughlin coming in. He's another racer in this tournament. Thank you for saying so in chat. It is possible for us to see a stupid, sexy boy band. None of us want to see a stupid, sexy boy band, but we could. Both runners running through the ice pyramid at the moment. Phoebe taking care of everything with the white spell. Both runners also have enough seeds to last in the rest of the game, I think. Hebinx definitely does. And since he has Flare, this fight against the Ice Golem will go by very quickly. It has at most, I think, 6,660 health. And it did roll high. But it's the Ice Golem. It's weak to fire, we have Flare. It didn't stand a chance. Hebinx deciding to grab these two red chests before casting Exit. Neither of them useful, unfortunately. The gas mask, as I've stated before, just reveals invisible enemies on the volcano, which both of our runners have already been to. And now Hebinx is going down to Spencer's place from Aquaria. Gonna get the Venus key check. And Spencer, of course. That's where the sun coin was. I was about to swear. I'm glad I didn't. Hebinx in the Falls Basin. This is just a fairly quick check. Or two checks, one under a boss. And we did find the Dragon Claw here, so it is necessary to go to the Falls Basin. Crabs, meanwhile, are weak to axes, but Hebinx decides not to use one. He doesn't need it. He does get seeds, but he has enough seeds. He didn't need those. He can now fight Jerkbird. Then again, aren't all birds in all games jerks? I mean, take a look at Falco, at, what's his name? The, Wind Sage in Breath of the Wild. Heck, a lot of the Rito, for that matter. Pidgey Sand Attack, yes. You might wonder why Hebinx isn't using spells on these beholders. They're one of the few enemies in this game that can reflect your magic back at you. These, the tier 3 slime, the black ones, and Pazuzu and Zub are the only enemies in the game that can do so. The beholders and oozes, they're called, have it as a passive ability, and Pazuzu and Za have it as part of their psych shield. farfelu and Hebinx both have the Apollo Helm now. Apollo Helm only giving you more defense, no actual extra resistances. Funny enough, both of the enemies that have natural magic reflection, passive magic reflection that is, are weak to bombs. I believe they both can self-destruct too. Though I'm probably wrong about that. I don't believe farfelu got Dragonclaw. He hasn't been to the Falls Basin yet. He is checking out the Alive Forest first, while Hebinx classes Pazuzu's Shower. Hebinx pretty clearly in the lead. Because without that Dragonclaw, farfelu is lost. Both figuratively and literally. Hebinx finding the Thunder Rock. I believe, yes, that's his last Go Mode item. All he needs to do is defeat Pazuzu now. Spam your Go emotes in chat. There's not really too much to comment on, other than where farfelu is going, I guess. Checking the Windhole Temple, finding nothing. Going to Mount Gale. Oh. Poor farfelu. Not finding anything in Mount Gale. There's only, I believe, 2 or 3 checks in Mount Gale. The one we just saw, the one under the mini-boss, Dullahan, and I don't remember where the third one is, if there is a third one. I'm seeing in chat a question about battlefields. You are correct, blue do have items, the green ones have money, and the gray ones have experience. Speaking of, there is another glitch that happens with battlefields due to how experience is calculated. If you level up while defeating the last fight in an experience battlefield, because the game gives you experience twice, and because experience works in a decrementing fashion rather than an incrementing fashion, you will level up twice. However, it's more like Bravely Default's stealing BP from later turns. You're basically stealing a level up from later in the game. You still have to get all the experience you would have needed to get to, say you level up twice from level 16 to 18, you would need all the experience you need to get from 17 to 19 to reach 19. If that makes any sense at all. I didn't explain that the best. Farfelu in the wintry cave, taking the wrong gamble. That is right, chat. He must be feeling far behind. Finding the Night Sword. And we'll see if the tracker updates that. Yep. Our tracker's doing a fantastic job, by the way. Give it up for Ekimont. Hebinx finding the Psych Shield being activated in Pazuzu's fight. It is a bad idea to cast a spell when Psych Shield is up because it will just get reflected back to you. Even on the turn when Psych Shield is being taken down, you probably shouldn't do it. Because it's entirely possible that Pazuzu will go second, and whoever casts the spell goes first. Seems like we have a fairly thin bird today. Yep, down he goes. There's Dragonclaw on Farfelu's side. He's got to be kicking himself. Pazuzu is ending up as the final boss for today, or rather the final fiend. Can the Dark King multiply? The Dark King's attacks have not been shuffled. The Dark King can multiply on different settings, but not these settings. It's very glitchy, it's worth seeing. Where is Hebinx headed? What does he want to do here? If I were him, I would be looking for experience. I would not want to go into the Dark King fight at level 18. He's up to level 19 now, which he must think is safe. That, or he thinks he'll level up on the ship, which is entirely possible. He might even go out of his way to last-minute grind on the ship. absolutely grinding on the ship. farfelu, meanwhile, having what looks like a tough time here. Maybe not. Don't mind me, I'm just pulling up the tracker, because even though it's probably done being messed with, there's still some important buttons on there. Click. Hebinx does make it to level 20 and books it straight to Mac. Did farfelu find the Thunder Rock? Must have. Yeah, he did. Button for Thunder Rock is clicked, but it's not lit up. We do not have Doom Castle shortcut turned on, so we do have to go the vanilla way through Doom Castle. Chat saying Hebinx is looking to his right to see if farfelu has completed his race. That's funny. Hebinx making it to the Dark King? Why don't I pull up the Dark King's packs, since I have them available? That sounded like Iron Mail. Now, the only thing that the life spell does not cure, does not remove and bring back to the state it was at the start of the fight, is debuffs. Only refreshers can modify debuffs. That was the Ice Sword. Ice Sword does 176 multiplied by 8 minus your defense damage. The Cure Arrow does 70 multiplied by 8 minus your defense damage. That, I believe, was the Dark Sword. Dark Saber, it's listed here, does 900 minus your defense damage. Which means Phoebe must have 51 defense. Moving straight into Phase 3. Where all of Dark King's nastiest attacks are. He's got Mega White, Mega Flare, the 2 webs, Silver and Golden, Fighter Kids, and Laser. Laser is the highest damaging attack. Spider Kid's right behind it, I believe. Mega Flare might do more, but it's single target only. So Hebinx might wipe here. Does wipe here. That's unfortunate. For him, at least. It's fortunate for farfelu. That is a very thin phase 1. farfelu looks like he's having a bit of a tough time with Pazuzu. And there goes Pazuzu. I believe that's go mode for farfelu. Now see what I really am. Phoebe unfortunately does not have petrification resistance. That is why I say that Kaylee is the best party member in the game. Ben resists every status effect, though, other than death. Death is a status effect, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And Hebinx is playing it absolutely safe. Or as safe as he can, at least. He is still risking taking a death to Golden Web. Because at this point, the Dark King is the fastest character in the fight. I think the Dark King and Phoebe might be in a speed tie, but Dark King definitely comes out on top more often than she does. And farfelu did show up in chat. Which may be a sign of things to come. farfelu making his way to the Dark King. If Hebinx doesn't get bad luck, he will be winning this race, but if he does, then farfelu has a very strong chance. Even at level 18. Hebinx making it into phase 4. Will this be a thin phase 4 or a thick one? It is guaranteed to have, I believe, at least 10,000 health. Hebinx taking a bit of a risk. And he makes it all the way through, defeats the Dark King, and finishes the race with a racetime.gg time of 58:22. We'll see if we can get Hebinx in here for an interview. Farfelu, meanwhile, still fighting Dark King on phase 3. We'll see. Hey there, Hebinx.
Hey, Giga.
How are you feeling?
Surprised, ecstatic, GG's.
GG. I see Farfelu's in here too. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I had an exciting tournament. GG Hebinx.
GG, man. That was. I'm watching back from like 10 minutes ago, and I was like down on the wire. If I'd have screwed up one more time, this could have been the other way around.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of what I was hoping. But I knew that Dark King fight would be tough for me because at how late I found Claw, I just rushed Bezuzu's Tower and then Dark King at level 18. So I took it way aggressive, but you finish during the phase 2, I think. So I just forfeited.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think it all just came down to RNG and our different routing styles, and tonight's seed just kind of favored the way I route, and our first seed totally favored you. That was like a blitzkrieg. You just flew through that, man.
Yeah, that was also the. Sadly for me, I think the same applied to race 2, but RNG with Dark King just killed me there. But yeah, I like to go with the big person play. That's why I skipped. Don't remember even the name of the place with the crab where Dragonclaw was.
Basin.
Yeah, that one. So yeah, because it's just 2 brown bucks. So no, what are the odds, right?
Right? Yeah, no, I've had that same box hold go mode for me too many times, and I've lost too many races to not like check it anymore. So it's like, I stopped by after I do pyramid and like my routings basically like do all the big places first, then go back and do any mini dungeons except for Fireberg. Like if I don't have anything and I have everything to do Fireberg places, I'll stop in there. But yeah, it just came down to luck of the draw and the placement of the items.
Mm-hmm. You were both amazing in all 3 races. Very close, I think, in every one.
I hope we put on a good show for everybody. Every time I race Farfelu, it's like this is going to be difficult, and he's always puts up a great challenge. So it's always a pleasure for me to race a Farfelu.
How did you guys feel about the locations of items? Where do you think Gemini Crest was specifically?
If I had to guess,
I would bet in the tree.
Tree or Mount Gale, yeah.
It could have been under Dullahan, yeah.
Or I didn't check the bow of the ship because I had everything I needed. So it could have just been sitting there at the front of the ship, or it could have been in that chest on the way up to Dark King. The rando has done that before. I just looked at that chest. I was like, no, I'm trying to go fast.
Yes, I skipped that one.
We'll never know what's in it, ever.
It could have been Excalibur.
Could have been. The Holy Sword's garbage, though. I have Night Sword. That's enough of a speed bonus for me.
To my recollection, the Steel Sword even gives the speed bonus.
Oh, nice. And we really will have to like go back and look at that and see if the tier 1 versions of the items give the bonuses, because like I've heard mixed things. It's like I heard the bonuses don't apply until tier 2. I've heard that tier 1 applies them. So like I'll have to like sit still for a minute, open the menu and status page and swap my weapons and see if that actually is a thing.
I'll have to take a better look at the resistances from each of the armors as well and update that in my database here. Anyways, back to the actual. Were there any items that you guys were kicking yourselves about? Thunder Rock notwithstanding. Sorry, no, Dragon's Claw.
Yeah, definitely Dragon's Claw for me. Like I said in chat, when I found those Dragon Claw, well, I have to clear Pazuzu's tower, so I was doing that first anyway, but I knew my only hope was something dumb like top of the tree, or like I said, finding Gemini Crest in the tree and then getting the Thunder Rock behind the crest, but I knew at that point I would still. It was almost game over. The chance that would happen that were too low, so I just had to rush Dark King and hope for the best.
Yeah, for me it was mines. I full cleared mines. Well, not full clear. I never took Ruben back, but I saved Aaron and I killed Jin, and like I think I got Blizzard for my troubles, and I was like, huh, well, that sucks. And it's like because it's like a 5-minute investment to go into mines and then come back out, and it just kind of it's like it's time I could have used going towards the critical path, but at the same time, I mean, I got experience from it, and it worked out in the end. Because if I hadn't have checked it, Ruben or his dad would have been holding go mode.
Right. Well, no, he wouldn't have in this particular seed, but in any other, yeah, probably.
Yeah, true.
Is there anything either of you would want to do differently in the future?
I think for me, I lost a little bit of time. So right before going to Dark King, I took a dive on a battleground with 5 battles, and I knew it was the battleground with the oozes, the black slimes. And I was like, black slime formation can be really bad and it's not fast. And I did it anyways against my better judgment, and it ended up costing me like, a good little bit. So I think next time, instead of risking that battleground, I'll either only take the one with the double fish or the double fish and a vampire, or I'll grind out the rest of my levels on ship. I don't think I'll touch that battleground again unless it's required, like it has an item check behind it. It's too volatile. It requires mega grenades to even get through remotely quickly if you get a bad pattern with the oozes. So I'd rather not chance it.
Farfelu?
I think the biggest mistake I made was going back, taking Kaylee 2 without bombs. I noticed that while I was fighting the Minotaur, the first boss, because I didn't really need to rush to get her that fast, but I don't know, I had exit, so let's go get Kaylee 2, but she's not that strong. Arrow's not that strong in Fireberg, and she does not have fire resistance, so I did not really needed her, and I had to come back to get my, the first crystal. Anyway, I had to come back later, so I think that's the biggest mistake, but like Hebinx said, it's just little optimization at this point. I think I lost, I don't know, at top maybe 45 seconds to 1 minute. It could decide some close race, but fortunately not this one. And yeah, since I'm out of the tournament, I think I just want to congratulate the organizer and say thank you for organizing this. It's always fun to have a community in Speedgaming Live and have some exciting race, some competition. So now that I'm out, I can watch the other semifinal and the final, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I think our next match is gonna be a 2 to 3 race sprint. It's gonna be Ipst versus F Coughlin, who was in chat, I saw. And let me see when their match is scheduled for.
I think it's tomorrow.
Yes, so tomorrow starting at 2:10 p.m. East Coast time, and they're gonna do matches back to back to back until they finish have a winner. So that's gonna be like a 2 to 3 hour sprint, maybe even 4, depending on how bad the seeds roll.
It'll be up to 4.5.
It could be, but y'all just have to check that out.
All right, let's see if we can get the commands off in chat. I believe it's this, and I don't know the other one.
I think C is for you, my friend, so I'll do that one.
We do have a Discord, which you can find at www.ffmqrando.net, along with the randomizer. I'll get that link posted in chat as well. I don't know if it got censored by Twitch.
No, it went through. I can see it.
All right, good. Thank you, Hebinx.
No problem.
And I believe that's everything. Do either of you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to throw a huge shout out to everybody who's participated in the tournament. You know, we can't have a tournament without people playing, and always great to have competition like this. Huge shout outs to you and Ekimont for stepping up and doing tonight's broadcast. I know sometimes we push things towards the limit, but it's all right. We've always got a great community. Speaking of the community, huge shout outs to Wild Ham and our main organizer, Chanigan, and Dark Moon. They're all awesome people, and without them, I don't think we'd be doing this. Shout outs to Speedgaming Live for hosting us. Always a great time to be on this channel and be able to have these tournaments. And yeah, shout outs to my community and my family. I'm excited to go to the finals.
Thank you for the shout out. Farfelu, how about you?
Good luck in final, Hebinx. Well, my things have been said, so see you next year.
For sure.
Sounds good. As for me, I don't really have anything else to say. So, I think that'll be it for us. Likes are in the chat. I hope you all have a good day, and we'll see you later.